Today I've got 2 points I want to make and one action for you to take on the Trump tariffs. This all began on April 5th, remember? It all began on the 5th. Point number one, what a difference a month makes. What a difference. VOO, or the S&P 500 by Vanguard, is up 0.73 for the year. For 1 year, up 11.47, and 5 years, 106%. Nearly, well, it did double. The last number, the 5-year number, is my challenge to you. That's the one you need to watch. Don't watch the year to date, don't watch the month to date, don't watch the week. 5 years at a minimum. Really 10, but 5 years at an absolute minimum. I made a video a few weeks back on the markets and some political history. Many argued with me that this time was different. That was mentioned 100 times, 1,000 times in that video. How is that working? How did that work out? This is not a political video. I like to be independent. I'm proud to be independent, but I made that historical video looking back at other events, other political events, emotional events, this time is different events, and how the market all settled down, reaching new highs pretty quickly. This one was shockingly quick. But looking for guidance from the past, that's my challenge to you. Look for guidance from the past versus guidance from your emotions. Emotions in retirement, you've got to do something about them, okay? You cannot make rash decisions, emotional decisions. This time is different decisions in retirement. You got to have a better plan than that. So action number one, and well, it's the only action, but it's number one. If you panicked, no problem at all. Things came back, okay? Now is the time to take a serious look at your portfolio and look at how exposed you are. Can you handle a 10% correction? Can you handle a 20% bear market? These things are common. A 10% is a couple times a year. A 20% bear is, every 3, 4, 5 years. Who knows? Averages don't mean anything other than over long periods of time, it's an average. But these are features of the market, not a time to say this time is different. You can't hope that the market won't go down, the first few years of your retirement to build up and avoid sequence of return risk. You got to plan for it. Retirement is too important to be stressed from normal volatility. Plans are tested in down markets, and they're always uncertain. They're always different. Okay? So take a look at your plan. You may need to buy an annuity. You may need to get more balanced in equities and fixed. Maybe you're 70-30 and you're feeling good about that until this happened, and now maybe you should be 60-40 or 50-50. Maybe you should buy an annuity and get your fixed expenses covered by fixed income. That's not a bad decision. It's not bad at all. You got to find out what works for you. My plan does not, it's not cookie cutter for every viewer here. My plan for down markets is I use buckets. There's a lot of information out there on buckets. I got 20 videos on buckets. My bucket one is 10 years of money that I need for my investments, net of Social Security, net of YouTube revenue, net of my deferred comp, anything that's coming in, a pension if you have that. I got 10 years out of equities, okay? So when the market goes down as a feature by 10% or 20%, I look and I say, well, I really would like it to do better. I'm upset it's not doing better, but I've got 10 years covered. What are we doing next? Could be coming to the Smoky Mountains. You can tell I'm not at home. I'm in the Smoky Mountains right now. Went to Dollywood yesterday. Went on a couple hikes today. So having a good week down here in the Smoky Mountains. So if your plan, you need to expect confidence and peace from your plan. You need it, okay? Now, the only way that I have seen people, including myself, I'm people too, get confidence in their plans is to have a second set of eyes looking at them. I'm telling you, you get inside your own head, you have fears, you have emotions, they're going to overwhelm you. That is natural. That's expected. That's how we evolved. We evolved to hate failure twice as much as we love winning. We evolved that way. What's a defense against that? Have a second set of eyes looking at your plan. I'm not telling you to hire a certified financial planner. That's one option, good option for some people. But another way, I got two other ways right now for you to get a second set of eyes. You can contact the folks at Money Pickle, free call, 40-minute call on your topic. You tell them what you're worried about, whether it's inflation, Social Security timing, you're worried about bear markets. Is your plan good against bear markets? You talk to a CFP and it's free for 40 minutes, absolutely free. Okay, now that's a cold call and that is free. If you want to do something a little more fine-tuned for you, you could submit your plan, however it's put together, whether it's in Excel, a spreadsheet, or it's in something like the Boldin PDF printout. You use that comprehensive software, which is what I do. Donaldson Capital Management for $300 will take your plan, study it for 30, 40 minutes, look for strengths and weaknesses, set up a call with you and review those with you. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe the number of people that have retired because of that consultation. I'm telling you, I get an email every single day. I get a comment, I get probably 4, 5, 6, 7 comments a day, and I get emails for 3 or 4 a day where people say they've contacted an external resource like Donaldson or Money Pickle and decided to retire. Okay, I get them all the time. That's how you're gonna get confidence. Okay, so point number 2 on tariffs. Go tell a story. It was December 4th, 2001. I worked in a department of my company where we cast molten aluminum with alloys into large ingots. I'm talking 30-foot long ingots, 21 inches thick, 60 inches wide, big aluminum blocks that we used in the beverage can industry. I worked in this department, 500 people. I was manager. And one day on December 4th, the supplier to me, 90% of the material, was called the pot rooms. It was an internal department, large group, maybe 1,000 people. They made raw aluminum from ore, aluminum oxide. Well, they lost all power. They lost all power. All 6 pot lines froze up. Frozen solid. It was looking like 3 months. 3 months of no material coming from my sole supplier of 90% of the aluminum. It was a bad day. My boss, let's say his name was John, but it wasn't. John called me up the next day. And you know, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of panic. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? My boss called me to his office and said, Joe, you're not gonna use this as an excuse not to make schedule this month. And he just stared at me. That is the environment that is in most manufacturing companies. You're not gonna use this as an excuse. My company wasn't special. We actually made schedule that month. I made a lot of phone calls. My team worked great. Got to credit my team. We contacted all the aluminum processors in the area, and we secured enough molten metal to make schedule that month, and all 3 months made schedule. Spent a little extra money, but we did not disappoint. We did not call it force majeure of our product going to their customers. We made every single customer delivery. The expectation in manufacturing, in companies, is to not have excuses. My company wasn't special. Price pressures like tariffs are common. Okay, somebody raises their price on magnesium, somebody raises their price on steel. Those things are just common. We had a labor agreement and we pay people, they get a 7% pay increase. The expectation on my business, on my department, and on my managers was to, how are you going to offset that? Plus 5%. Okay, 5%, well, I should have said minus 5%. Offset it, minus 5%, and don't even talk to me about inflation. That's the expectation in manufacturing. That's all going on. I don't hear anybody talking about that. That is in every business that I know of. How are you going to offset it? So how do you do that? Price pressures creates a catalyst for innovation. It's how you survive. Somebody's going to figure this out. If we don't figure it out, somebody else will. They'll be profitable, run us out of business. One of the main things that changes is the tolerance for failure. We can take more risk. There's a lot of ideas out there on the factory floor to do things better, okay? Make better quality product, make it cheaper, and better delivery performance, all around. A lot of great ideas out there. The problem is you don't have the incentive to try them because they may fail. Well, when you get something like a tariff or increased cost pressures, you have that incentive from management to say, hey, bring me your ideas, even if they're bad, even if they could be wrong, let's give them a try. You reallocate resources. It's something I commonly did towards innovation. So, will tariffs be passed on to the consumer? We shall see. I don't know. I hear everybody talking about, well, what are they going to do? The input prices going up. And I'm sitting there saying, this happens all the time, every day in business. The pressure is always to increase prices. And we got great people working in factories, working in offices, working in service industries that are always trying to do things more efficiently. I'm not telling you, this is worn on the backs of the people. In fact, most of the time, when innovation goes up, enthusiasm goes up, and job satisfaction, because they know they're doing something important, not just having the company make more money. So, will the tariffs be passed on? You decide, but there is a lot of people, very smart people, that are working hard not to pass that on. It's Joe out.